Hello wine people, welcome to video number 1 for our Thirsty and Wine Study and Support Program. These are multiple choice question videos where I answer and explain multiple choice questions. These videos are part of our Thirsty and Wine Study and Support Program. All the details and our contact, if you need assistance to prepare for your WSET Level 3 in Wines course and exam, are below. If you need assistance, let us know. Systematic approach to tasting is a tool and a skill in order to describe and assess wine quality and readiness for drinking. Even though the practical part of the level 3 exam is tasting the wines, you're not going to be tested on the theoretical knowledge of that. This is a great video because it will explain you the theoretical part of the tasting of the SAT for level 3. On the actual exam, you're going to have two wines that you're going to taste blindly, most probably a white and a red wine. You're going to do this in 30 minutes. Total available points are 41, and for you to pass, you need to have at least 55% of these points. Question number 1. What is the main purpose of WSET Systematic Approach to Tasting, SAT? To ensure consistent wine sales globally, to describe and evaluate wine methodically, to standardize winemaking techniques, to simplify wine tasting for beginners. The correct answer is B, to describe and evaluate wine methodically. You have the system, you're following it, and you're describing the wine in the same way. You're covering the same points when you're describing the wine every single time. So how the wine looks, how it smells, how it tastes, and then you take all that information and you come to a conclusion regarding quality and readiness for drinking. What are the three sections what three sections make the descriptive part of the SAT? Clarity, sweetness, balance, appearance, nose, palate, aroma, body, finish, structure, intensity, quality. The correct answer is B, appearance, nose, palate. What is the main goal of the evaluative part of the SAT? Identifying grape variety, determining wine faults, assessing quality and readiness for drinking, comparing wine regions. So the evaluative part is the bottom part of the SAT card, and it's used to assess quality and readiness for drinking. You're not assessed on identifying the grape variety and the region where it's coming from. With practice, with experience, you can come to this point. Which document supports the SAT by providing aroma and flavor descriptors? Wine lexicon, aroma wheel, wine atlas, the flavor spectrum. The correct answer is A, wine lexicon. On the other side of the SAT card, you have the vocabulary for primary, secondary, and tertiary aromas. I will recommend for the WSET course and exam for you to use this vocabulary. Outside of the WSET, of course, you can expand your vocabulary, but please make sure the vocabulary has sense. So when you're describing a wine, people understand what you want to say. What does clarity in the appearance section of the SAT describe? Wine's intensity, presence of suspended particles, the color spectrum of the wine, the viscosity of the wine. The correct answer is B, the presence of suspended particles. This will indicate if the wine was filtered or not, or if there's any winemaking technique done to remove these particles that will make wine cloudy. Anyway, this is part of the winemaking part of level 3, but anyway, on the course and on the exam, you're going to get wines that are clear, and you don't get actually a point even though you're going to describe the wine that it's clear. What term is used to describe a wine with a noticeable greenness to its color? Lemon, lemon green, gold, amber. The correct answer is B, lemon green, potentially wine grapes from a cool climate, picked earlier. How is the intensity of red wine's color assessed? By observing the wine's viscosity, by the depth of color from core to rim, by the reflection of light on the wine's surface, by the concentration of tannins. The correct answer is B, the depth of color from the rim to core. So when you're assessing the color of the wine, you're tilting the glass around 45 degrees, and you're looking at how much color changes from the center of the glass to the rim. If the color goes all the way to the rim and you cannot see through the color, it means that the color is deep. If the wine color is only in the center, it's pale, and if there's a big rim variation between the core and the rim, is pale, and then if it's in the middle, it's medium. What is the most common color for white wines? Lemon, lemon green, gold, amber. The correct answer is A, lemon, most common color. Which color indicates a youthful red wine? Tawny, garnet, ruby, brown. The correct answer is C, ruby. What does the term legs in wine appearance refer to? The clarity of the wine, the streams of liquid on the side of the glass, the viscosity of the wine in motion, the sediment at the bottom of the glass. The correct answer is B, the liquid of the side of the glass. So this is when you swirl the glass and you're seeing the wine coming down, and this can give you an indication of, yes, C, viscosity, which can show residual sugar and also alcohol levels in the wine. So if the tears or the legs are more thicker and going slower, it could be indication of a residual sugar in the wine and high alcohol. If the tears legs are thin and go very fast, this is an indication of a dry wine that has low alcohol level. But anyway, you're not going to get points for assessing this legs or tears. Which fault is associated with aromas of damp cardboard? Oxidation, TCA, reduction, Brettanomyces. The correct answer is B, TCA or cork taint. What characterizes a wine affected by reduction? So reduction is opposite of oxidation. Damp cardboard aromas, stinky aromas like rotten eggs or boiled cabbage, aromas of vinegar or nail polish remover, moldy aromas from improper storage. The correct answer is B, stinky aromas that can remind of rotten eggs or boiled cabbage. Which wine fault can be result from insufficient sulfur dioxide? So sulfur dioxide is an antioxidant. So if there's not enough, wine can be A, Brettanomyces, oxidation, TCA, volatile acidity. Correct answer is B, oxidation. What is the general rule for assessing aroma intensity? Stronger aromas indicate poor quality. Pronounced aromas are evident without sniffing. Light aromas require swirling and long sniffs. Aroma intensity is determined by the color. The correct answer is B. Pronounced aromas are evident without sniffing. The idea is you're gonna be practicing this to assess the intensity of the aroma. Some wines you can smell, when you have the glass far away from your nose, where some wines are going to be very light in intensity even when you're putting your nose inside the glass. It takes practice. This is a practical part. Primary aromas originate from oak aging, bottle aging, fermentation or grapes, malactic fermentation. The correct answer is C, fermentation of grapes, not or. Fermentation of grapes. Which aroma cluster includes descriptors like grapefruit, lemon, and lime? Herbaceous, stone fruit, citrus fruit, tropical fruit. The correct answer is C, citrus fruit. When you're describing a wine, yes, you can use the whole cluster saying that, this wine smells like citrus fruit, but you need to actually mention some of the citrus aromas in the cluster. Otherwise, you're not going to get points. What are the tertiary aromas a result of? Primary fruit characteristics, fermentation processes, aging process, malolactic fermentation. The correct answer is C, aging process in the bottle. So these are aromas like dried leaves, anything that reminds of dried, decayed, dried fruit, dry leaves, dried meat, that kind of stuff. A wine dominated by primary aromas is described as youthful, developing, fully developed, tired, past is best. The correct answer is A, youthful. So if the wine has primary, it can also have secondary as well. It is described as youthful. If it has indication of tertiary, then it's developing. What sensation indicates high acidity on the palate? Sweetness on the tongue, salivating, dryness in the gums, warmth in the throat. The correct answer is B, salivating. And then you can also think Also, these questions are good. I mean, the options are good because you can think about other things as well. So in this question, I would say, how can I detect the sweetness? What does the dryness on the gum indicate? Some of these options will give you clues for other questions. Some of them will not have sense. What does the term of dry mean? Wine with no detectable sugar, a wine with very high sugar levels, a wine with small amount of detectable sugar, a wine suitable for dessert pairing. The correct answer is C, a wine with small amount of detectable sugar. The sugar on the palate you can detect best on tip of the tongue. That's the location where most of the receptors for sweetness are located. What is the main structural component of red wine that affects the gums? Acidity, tannin, alcohol, sugar. The correct answer is tannin. So when you're tasting a red wine, make sure you cover your whole palate, especially the gums, and then on the gums you're going to detect the amount and the quality of the tannin. If the tannin is, heavily present but still gentle, this is high quality tannin. But if the tannin is thin and grippy, like rough sandpaper, then it can be low or medium tannin, but unquality tannin. Not good tannin, unquality. How is alcohol perceived in a wine? It adds sweetness to the palate, it creates warming or burning sensation, it decreases wine's viscosity, it makes a wine lighter in body. The correct answer is B, it increases the warmth and the burning sensation. Of course, burning is not good, but warmth on the palate, on the throat and chest will indicate a wine with higher alcohol level. What does the term body refer to in wine tasting? The sweetness of a wine, the weight or texture of the wine, the tannin level of the wine, the acidity of the wine. The correct answer is B, the weight or texture of the wine. It is the mouthful sensation that you get from a wine. Does the wine feel light or it feels full body? There's components that create fullness, there's component that creates lightness in a wine. What defines a long finish in a wine? The lasting undesirable bitterness, the length of pleasant sensation after swallowing, the wine's ability to prove over time, the presence of tannins on the palate. The correct answer is B, the length of pleasant sensation after swallowing. So when you're assessing the length of the wine, you're focusing on how long do the pleasant primary, secondary, and tertiary flavors linger on the palate. You're not focusing on sweetness, acidity, tannin, or any bitterness. What is considered when assessing wine's quality? Balance, length, intensity, complexity, color, sweetness, tannin, acidity, alcohol, mousse, sugar, acidity, development, oxidation, faults, aroma. The correct answer is A, balance, length, intensity, complexity, or Bliss system. A wine that scores positively on all four quality criteria is classified as, so quality criteria is the Bliss system. If it's positive in all four, it's acceptable, good, very good, outstanding. The correct answer is D, it's outstanding. If the wine maybe one thing can be a little bit better, then it can be a very good wine, assessed as a very good wine. What does drink now but has potential for aging imply? A wine that is at its peak of quality, a wine will not improve with further age. A wine is enjoyable now but may improve with time. A wine is unsuitable for drinking currently. The correct answer is C. The wine is enjoyable now but may improve with time. Which type of wine fault is characterized by aromas of vinegar? Oxidation, Brettanomyces, volatile acidity, reduction. The correct answer is C, volatile acidity. The wine smells like vinegar. What characterizes a fully developed wine? Dominance of primary aromas, equal balance of primary and secondary aromas, predominance of tertiary aromas, absence of any aroma complexity. So the correct answer is C, predominance of tertiary aromas. So we talked about Youthful wine is primary and secondary. Developing is indication of tertiary, and then if the tertiary is the main aroma in the wine, this is fully developed. But the wine still needs to have primary part of the aromas. And then if you have this wine that is fully developed, on the conclusion part, you will be describing this wine, drink now, not suitable for further aging. What are secondary aromas typically associated with? Grapes and primary fermentation, aging in the bottle, winemaking techniques like oak and MLF, oxidation processes. The correct answer is C, winemaking techniques like oak aging and malolactic fermentation or conversion. How is sweetness typically perceived on the palate? As a rough texture on the gums, as a tingling sensation on the side of the tongue, as a richness or sugary taste on tip of the tongue, as a warming sensation in the throat. The correct answer is C, as a richness or sugary taste on the tip of the tongue. What aroma clusters does vanilla belong to? Tertiary aromas, primary aromas, secondary aromas of oak, fermentation aromas. The correct answer is C, secondary aromas of oak. Which type of aging process typically results in aromas like toffee or caramel? Primary fermentation, bottle aging, oxidative aging, malolactic fermentation. So this is purposeful oxidative aging that is used for making Oloroso sherry. What does luscious describe in terms of sweetness? A dry wine with minimal sugar, a wine with slightly detectable sugar levels, a wine with very high sugar content leaving a sticking sensation, a wine with balanced sweetness and acidity. The correct answer is C, a wine with very high sugar content with sticky sensation. The wine still will be balanced or should be balanced for outstanding wine, things like Tokai and Sauternes. What factor is critical for determining wine readiness for drinking? The balance of primary and tertiary aroma, alcohol percentage, the depth of color, the size of mousse in a sparkling wine. The correct answer is A, the balance of primary and tertiary aromas, and of course taking in consideration also the structural components like acidity, sweetness, and tannin. Which of the following best describes complexity in a wine? A wine with only primary fruit flavors, a wine displaying multiple aroma and flavor layers, a wine with short finish and intense sweetness, a wine made from multiple grape varieties. The correct answer is B, a wine displaying multiple aroma and flavor layers. This can be primary, secondary, and tertiary aromas combination, which is a clear, complex wine, but wine can also be described as complex when having different clusters of primary aromas. New Zealand Sauvignon Blanc is a perfect example where the wine can smell citrus, green fruit, tropical fruit, and herbaceous. What is an example of a fault caused by excessive exposure to oxygen? Cork taint, oxidation, volatile acidity, reduction. The correct answer is B, oxidation. How can you best identify malolactic fermentation in a wine? Aromas of green apple, flavors of butter and cream, a heightened acidity, pronounced floral aromas. The correct answer is B, flavors of butter or cream. What is the purpose of swirling wine in the glass? To assess wine's clarity, to assess wine's aromas, to observe color change, to check sediment levels. The correct answer is B, to release wine's aromas. Last question, how is tannin best detected on the palate? A tingling sensation on the side of the tongue, drying and roughness on the gums above the front teeth, sweetness on the tip of the tongue, a warming sensation on the throat. The correct answer is B, the drying and roughness on the gums above the front teeth. But we talked, this can be positive, this can be negative, depending on the quality of the tannin. Wine people, thanks so much for watching this video. Let me know how many questions you got right. If you have any questions, full details about our Thirsty and Wine study and support program for level 3 wines is below. My contact details are below. If you need assistance, I would love to help. I'll see you in the next video when we're going to be talking about food and wine. Until then, stay thirsty and wise.